In this ongoing series of videos on personal branding, I'm talking about what personal branding is and how it actually can be created and how to set up your personal brand, how to go about the whole process. In yesterday's video, I was actually talking about the message framework. So I started this series with what personal branding is and a bird's eye view of how to build a personal brand. And then in the second video, I talked about the brand essence, the personal brand essence. So this was your purpose, vision, mission, core values, and so on. In the third video, I talked about story building, what story building is, and how to go about, building a story for your personal brand. And then in yesterday's video, I talked about creating a message framework because your personal brand needs a message framework to tell that story. And part of that message framework was, of course, identifying your problem or the problem that you want to solve, and then the target audience and all that. In today's video, we talk about the social media platforms, the different kinds of social media platforms and which ones to target, what to do, how much time you need to spend on these, and so on and so forth. So this is about translating that message framework onto the online social media platforms so that you become an ambassador for yourself. You become an authority figure for your personal brand. And this is about building the personal brand. Okay, now there are a whole bunch of social media platforms. When I began a few years back, not many, but today there are quite a bunch. I think, 10 or something like that. But the fact of the matter is that you don't need to be on all the platforms. In fact, to start out, if you're starting out your personal brand building process, then I would say focus on 1, 2, or 3 at the most. And as you build your personal brand, and as you see the results, and as you allocate more budget to building your personal brand, you can then start focusing on other channels. So initially, 1, 2, 3, the most. Okay, now what we will do is quickly go through all the different social media channels there are, and then I will talk about each one and what you can do for each of those and why you should be choosing them. So you can then tailor based on what your story is and what your personal brand is and so on and so forth. So let's start with the first one, which is Twitter. And by the way, for some of these social media channels, I will show you my own so you get an idea of what it is about. Okay, so Twitter for me is, for example, let's talk about what Twitter is good for. Twitter is for really communicating yourself. It's expressing yourself. There is no particular format for this. There is no, it's not, and you will understand when I talk about the other media channels. For example, on my Twitter channel, you will see this one. Yeah, I love wine, as I told you. And the other day I had this beautiful, beautiful Italian wine, and from Campania, a beautiful, beautiful wine, and it goes well with these lamb chops. So I just posted that. But prior to that, for example, yeah, I posted the video, and this one here, I was a guest on Startup Canada, Startup Chats, and I was there and I was chatting, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, Twitter is really an expression of yourself, and this could be anything. It doesn't really need to be specifically about a particular topic. In fact, I keep my Twitter open. My Twitter channel is me, not just my personal brand, but me. Do you see what I'm saying? Remember, in the previous video, I was talking about how our personal brand is sort of like a persona, right? We play different personas in life, and our personal branding is a persona, right? Now, your social media channels can be an extension of that persona, or it could be like Twitter, for example, is not just for my persona, it is me. So it's just not my personal brand itself, but also my travel or my photography or wines that I love, food that I love, restaurants that I visit. Sometimes you could even have family stuff. So it is the entire thing. It's me. And then we come to Instagram. Now, Instagram is excellent if you are building a personal brand, but you're related to a lifestyle kind of either career or business or brand, right? If you're an entrepreneur. So career path and all that, if it's related to a lifestyle brand, Instagram is the best place. Even if you're a motivational speaker, for example, or you're into self-development, or if you're a consultant, if you're a speaker, I mean, there's lots and lots of stuff. Now, for me, Instagram, again, is an extension of me, but it's more about my persona as a photographer. As you can see here, okay, whatever. You get the point, right? So this Instagram channel for me is about my photography. One of my passions is photography, and my Instagram channel is dedicated to that. Now, of course, it's also going to be for my love of wine and travel. So it is, because Instagram is about images, right? It's about showing off images. It's so visual. So all the things related to the visual categories in my life is on Instagram. And this is travel. This is maybe photos of wines and my photos. I love photography, and I love street photography. I love travel photography. So all those things I post on Instagram. If you're in a lifestyle market segment, either career path or as an entrepreneur, then Instagram is the place. Focus on that. For me, Instagram is not my focus. I do post now and then, but not my focus. Twitter, yes, I try and post almost every day because Twitter is an extension of me, right? So even if I have nothing to say about as a persona of my personal brand, I still post on Twitter. But Instagram is very selective. It has to be something visual, right? I won't just take a picture of, I don't know, a cup on my table. Well, unless it's artistic, I wouldn't be posting that. Okay, the next one is LinkedIn. And this is my LinkedIn profile page. LinkedIn is a very, very strong kind of social media channel for me. So Twitter, casual, daily. Instagram, maybe now and then for me. But LinkedIn is a very kind of a strong channel for me. I put a lot of effort and focus on this. And that's because this one is a representation of my persona, right? So you can see here, refresh your brand, brand perception, brand ambassadors, and videos. And you can see here, Spell Brand Agency, I'm the founder, brand strategist. Square Maze, I'm a partner and CEO, co-founder, brand strategist, brand ambassador. And then there are lots of publications. I'm very active. I post every day. And yeah, so LinkedIn is a very, very active channel for me. So if you're related to a kind of a professional career path or as an entrepreneur, LinkedIn is a must, right? So if you're trying to sell products, for example, maybe not, okay? So even if you're a clothing business, for example, maybe not. I mean, you could use LinkedIn to maybe form some connections within the network, within your industry, but this is not really a place where you can build a personal brand that will benefit your clothing business or your career path in that lifestyle sector. Well, maybe, I mean, if you're trying to look for better paying jobs, then yes. For a career path, LinkedIn is fantastic, whatever market segment. But if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build a business out of it, maybe not a major one, right? So LinkedIn is a professional network. It's not about making friends there, but it's about building professional relationships. So yes, your persona plays an important part. So your personal brand plays an important part if you're in that professional kind of sector. For me, it's a big channel because my target audience are all professionals, right? They're entrepreneurs or professionals. So it's a tricky one, but yeah, you got to evaluate it and look at it from your target audience perspective, right? Another one is Clarity FM. This is my profile on that. And if you're an authority, if you're an expert, then this is where you need to be. And yeah, I don't really focus on the channel, but I do have a presence there, and that's about it. I don't really do much on it, and I don't really push it, but yeah. The next one is Facebook. And this is my kind of professional Facebook page. And as you can see, my personal branding is Ask Mash, right? So this one is a bit more casual. So it's in between Twitter and LinkedIn. So this is a bit more casual. Although, yeah, I do post, personal stuff because here I'm trying to make friends with like-minded people. But of course, I do post, videos and mostly my videos actually these days. But you get the point, right? So when I write articles, a lot of things that I talk about, and this is, for example, a personal photo here of my boy Dexter, my pug, and yeah, so on. So Facebook is about semi-professional, but at the same time friends. So it's almost like a neighborhood, right? Now, if you are sensitive about it and you have, let's say, family members on your Facebook profile and so on, then you can have two different channels. I have two different channels. I have one Facebook profile for my family members and very close friends, and there's nothing to do with business or about my passions or anything of that sort. And then I have this, which is for professional purposes. So these are friendships in the professional area. A common, like-minded people. So there's no family on this, and maybe I might post some things about my family on this, but that's because this is about showing the kind of person that I am, and of course family is a big part of me. So Facebook, but be careful with Facebook in the sense that don't use Facebook just for spamming, as a lot of people do, right? A lot of people want to become personal brands, they want to make money, and then they just go on Facebook and then they start spamming and bombarding. No, Facebook needs to have a strategic kind of approach, and you can benefit from it, especially Facebook advertising. So, and that's a topic for another day, but have a different channel if you want to have it for your persona, and keep your personal kind of Facebook page separate. Keep that for your family, core family members or close friends, and where you talk about what you had for breakfast, or what you're going to be doing on the weekend. You can also share those things on your official kind of Facebook page, and on Twitter and all that. But I would say, use discretion, right? Use discretion about how you handle your Facebook pages. The next is YouTube, and this is my YouTube channel. And as you can see, again, there's Ask Mash. So the branding here, the persona here it's me answering questions. It's people asking me questions. So Ask Mash, right? And yeah, I make I've made hundreds of videos. It's about branding. It's about building brands and things like that. So it is quite a dedicated kind of, I dedicate a lot of time and effort. This is, you're watching this video on YouTube, I think. But of course, I do share these videos elsewhere. But this is all about, this is really about my personal brand and my persona as this expert on building brands. So yeah, YouTube is about exposing your kind of expertise, putting your knowledge out there. It is the best channel of really building your persona if you have a lot of knowledge to share. So if you're only talking about your product or service, then I don't think it's a good channel. That's, you're not really going to get any traction out of it. Even with all this knowledge that I share, YouTube is still, it takes a lot of time and effort to build, a loyal kind of audience so that you can communicate your message. So if you're not really having anything to share, then YouTube is not for you. If it's just product and service, no. Also for a career path. If you're just focused on a career path, trying to get the next job, then YouTube maybe, unless again, you're building out yourself as an authority, you're sharing a lot of information, then yeah, YouTube is not really for you. However, if you want to become an influencer and make money out of that, then yes, get on YouTube, start sharing, start creating videos that will start, putting out content that will bring in audience and views, and then of course eventually you can make some money out of that. But that's a whole different path, and maybe I'll make a video on that one day, how to, I'm not that much of an expert on YouTube. Yes, I've posted hundreds of videos, but I haven't really cracked the code on it. So once I crack the code, then I'll make a video on it, or maybe I'll make a video on the basics. But it's always better to post a video that has expert level details on it. The next one is Quora. Quora is fantastic. Again, if you have a lot of information and you can answer questions, then Quora is the place to be. Next is Medium. Medium is again about posting content. I don't really spend a lot of time on Medium, and I actually just repost my blog posts on Medium. I use Medium just as a kind of a reposting stuff, right? And you can see here, 2018, I've actually posted nothing, so I don't really focus on Medium. Tik-Tok, yes. If you are into a lifestyle sector, this is great if you're selling products and so on. Yeah, TikTok is a great place to be. Then you have personal blog. This is my personal blog, for example. I write a lot of stuff, and as you can see, it's a thriving blog, and it has different kind of categories. I have photo gallery, branding, small business, lifestyle, and lifestyle is travel, whiskey articles. Now next is gonna come wine, Zen mind, learn photography. Yeah, this this is me, right? Whatever I'm passionate about, I put it up on my blog, and here you see the official blog on Spellbrand. This is where I write along with others in the agency. A lot of these articles are mine, of course, contributions from others also. And this is where I write branding and business related stuff. For example, look at this article, business trends that will explode in 2020 and beyond, right? So I talk about the emerging trends in business, and then I talk about 10 business ideas, space tourism and all that, and I invite you to read these articles. They're really good in terms of building brands and so on and so forth. And actually that's my official kind of blog. And then I had my personal blog, which I showed you, where I write about everything that interests me. So look, these are just a few examples, right? There are even more social media channels. But the key here is that once you craft your message framework and you know what to say and who you target, then you decide which of these channels is the best. In fact, just start with one, right? Now, even if you have others, when you start this journey of you're serious about personal branding, choose one as your priority, right? The one where you will spend most of your time and effort, right? And start building an audience on that. Start building relationships. The social media channels are not just about standing there and broadcasting. They're about building relationships, right? Personal branding is about building relationships. You are building a relationship with your audience as your persona, as your personal brand. So this is not just, posting stuff on your channel and then keeping quiet. This is about, having that kind of relationship, and it's building a community around yourself, right? That is the idea behind personal branding. And so in this video, we looked at several different social media channels, at least the ones that I'm on, and relative importance. And I gave you examples of how I look at it and what they mean to me. Each one is different. It depends on your message. It depends on your personal brand persona, and so on and so forth. So in another video, during this personal branding, I will talk about the different tools that can help you in conjunction with your social media channels, and how you can promote, and how you can organize. And that will be tomorrow's video, actually. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, maybe not, because everyone knows about social media channels, so this was not about anything unique, but I just wanted to analyze how I look at them and how to evaluate them and which ones to pick for your persona. So if you have any questions, just leave them below and I will answer them. If not, look out for the next video in this series on building your personal brand. I hope you loved this one. Till my next video, take care.